I'm about to say some really controversial shit, so if you ain't cool with that, you got about 5 minutes to leave. Actually, I'm just kidding. I'm going to talk about it now. So, if you could tell by the, if you couldn't tell by the title, yeah, this is a video talking about how I think, because I was thinking the other day when I was talking about the news about Owl House, the new seasons for Owl House. And I was doing that video talking a lot about Star Wars: The Forces of Evil, and it kind of got me thinking about one thing that I've always had on my mind, and I actually did a video on this back on Vlare, but now I have time to really, give more thought on it and really, think on it more. And that is, I honestly think that Moon and Toffee should have been a thing. And let me explain. Moon and Toffee were kind of like a major linchpin going into Season 3. Like, the whole thing at the end of Season 2 was that, and some of Season 1, a lot of people thought that Moon and Toffee were a thing, and it turned out they weren't, but he did kill her mom, so that was a big linchpin of itself. But I was kind of thinking, looking back at how bad the show kind of shit the bed on everything regarding Toffee, I was kind of thinking it'd probably make a lot more sense and would have been a lot more... Excuse me, let me get my drink real quick. It probably would have made a lot more sense and a lot more... it would have held a lot more drama and a lot more, connect and parallels for Marco and Star had Moon and Toffee been a thing, and I'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, so let's talk about when I was saying... Actually, let's talk about the parallels between Star and Marco, and if we do this hypothetical Moon and Toffee thing. You could have had that Moon and Toffee were friends. There was kind of I would say that there was a war in this new hypothetical situation. There was a war, but monsters are kind of there's a ceasefire, but there's still a lot of racism going on among humans and towards the monsters. And you could have that Toffee is kind of I would say the equivalent of a house slave, and Moon had been friends with Toffee, they were getting closer, but Toffee kept bringing up the whole subjects of, my people are oppressed. I'm from a very oppressed race, and yeah, I live in a very, you call me a very, well, polite for a monster, but that still stings when you say, for a monster, or I'm such a good, I'm so educated, for a monster, I'm so well talented, for a monster. You know how much that stings? Really? Moon, come on. Do you realize how much that hurts when you say shit like that? And Moon is so stuck in her ways that she doesn't want to hear it. And you see this relationship kind of, evolve, but it still has its cracks, and then it has, Toffee eventually being okay, Moon, you have got to decide. It's me or your family, and, this is how it's going to be, because there's hope for you. I would even have, Toffee say, there's hope for you, Moon. You can fix this. You're the princess. When you become queen, you can make things better for both races. You can stop all this violence on my people. You've seen it. Hell, you've seen your mother and your whole family generations. You know what your people are capable of when you are bearing down on monsters. But Moon doesn't want to hear it because that's how it's always been. She's so ingrained in her train of thinking that it just doesn't comprehend for her, and that's what leads to the war between Moon and Toffee. I would even, and I'm not saying I would have something completely egregious making River a dick, or having Toffee be Moon's, Star be Toffee's secret love child. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do anything like that. I would keep that River is a good person. I would say that River, was also... It'd be very much Toffee and River were both I wouldn't say competing, but it was very much a Tom and Marco thing, both kind of talking for Star. And even have that River was cool with Toffee. He was also pretty cool with him too, but there was still that underlying racism between them. Between them as well, like I said, with Moon, and Toffee. But yeah, I wouldn't do anything in this new hypothetical situation where I wouldn't completely undercut something Toffee's Star's actual father, or River was a total asshole. He was just, but I would have it that, yeah, you're still kind of being a dick for being oh, you're still a monster, Toffee, so you don't get a lot of rights like we do. So that would be a major point. I would also keep that Toffee does kill, because if you did do Toffee killing Moon's mother, that's the point. Like, that's the real point. And like Toffee could even, Toffee, you could even have him be like, "Yeah, I killed your mom. I took no pride in it, but it had to be. It's one of those situations where it had to be done." This was the problem with why I think another reason this could help Toffee's character, in that, Toffee's character kind of got lost, where it's like, "Oh, I fight the humans, but really I'm fighting magic, so I'm using magic to destroy magic." It got whole muddled, like the whole show. So, I would have it that Toffee in his war goes to kill Moon's mom, and he's like, "Look, I don't want to do this for the sake of Moon, but if you do cross this line, I will defend myself." And yeah, I would have it that Moon's mom is the one who pulls the first move, and Toffee, without even like giving a second thought, like just kills her in this fight. And I would even have it, he goes to her and says, "Look, I killed her. I take no pleasure in it, but I do it again because she was a part of this cancer of this nation. She is part. I just cut out that cancer, and now, Moon, you have a chance to get on the throne and stop all this, stop a ceasefire." And that would lead to, Toffee losing the finger and basically just essentially go through the motions with the rest of the show, but with a deeper kind of character impact. And what I was saying, like, parallels, because again, you see that at the beginning, at least they try to do this with Marco and Toffee, where Toffee's like talking to Toffee is talking to Marco, like, "You're a disappointment, you're all that, you can't really," like, I think they were trying to build something up with Toffee and Marco, but they just couldn't do it. So it would have been fun, like you could have done, like, having Toffee be Moon's Marco, and it just ended badly. And now Toffee, like, is seeing this star with this human, and now you could have had it been like, "Well, listen, kid, the humans, they suck. They really suck. Like, have you seen, like, the centuries of oppression my people have suffered? Come on, kid. It's not worth it. I know her mom, personally. Trust me, it's not gonna work out." You could have easily have done that. That would have had more of an impact. And hell, this is something a lot of people have said, like, when Star Versus took that very much racist look at racism through the monsters and humans. You could have easily done something with Marco. He is part of a group of people who are also racially profiled and racially, hunted, for lack of a better word. Like, he is part of an ethnicity who is hated, like, by a wider range of people. It sucks. Like, you could have easily had that parallel, where you have that, also, again, Marco's part of a group of an ethnicity who has been kind of put under boot as of last year, and the previous administration, not to get too political, but to make the point, he's also been part of a group of people who've been crushed under a boot of a government that really doesn't like them for the sake of just being who they are. So yeah, you could have done that parallel of, like, Marco, like, looking into it, like, yeah, I get, like, you could have had a great conversation between Marco and Toffee of basically, like, yeah, I get it, like, makes sense, but you're a fucking terrorist. Like, you could have even had Marco go, like, "Dude, you're a terrorist. There's a difference, man." And yeah, again, like, a lot of the character stuff could have been, I think a lot of the character stuff could have been saved, and making Toffee, like, he was already, like, he was the high point of the show. Like, in terms of villains, he was the high point. Everything else was just downward spiral after him. You could even look at the show in the same way. But still, like, that's the thing you have to look at, is that I think it would have been better for the show if they were, like, lovers, or at the very least close friends, because then you could have done more parallels. You could have done more deeper character stuff for Moon, because making her a total bitch the rest of the season worked out so fucking well. It also would have made a lot more, like, if you had done the Toffee-Moon relationship, it also, and how it went, that could have been a better explanation as to why the things she did regarding, aiding Mina in the final season, and then realizing, oh, I fucked up, because you could have had that, she's afraid of that repeat with Toffee via Eclipsa. Like, she's just afraid that Eclipsa is another Toffee waiting to happen. Like, that paranoia could have easily been played into it. Not just this, Eclipsa blasted me in the face by accident while I was attempting to murder her daughter, and then I lost my memories, but which I got back. It was super easy. Barely an inconvenience, really, when I think about it, Star. I'm a terribly written character. I'm cool. So, yeah, I just think that would have been, thematically for the whole series, that would have been a lot better to explain why Moon's actions are a lot better, because, yeah, it all stems from her, that fear and paranoia she has of, another Toffee showing up. Or someone with those kind of ideals of Toffee kind of destroying the status quo. And Eclipsa was kind of like a progenitor to that. So the fact that she's now queen is a terrifying thought to Moon. So that would make sense as to why she would team up with Mina. At least until realizing, oh shit, Mina was the really bad choice here. I backed the wrong horse. Would have made a lot more sense then. I attempted to murder her daughter. I got put in a magical place to heal by my own choice, mind you, after I attempted to murder this woman's daughter who she had just rekindled with and was scared and confused. Yeah. Anywho, that's just I just think there's a lot of missed opportunities, and yeah. And I'm not trying to say this a shipping point of view. I just think story-wise it would have made more sense. And also fanfiction kind of got me on that. But to its credit, I will say that I kind of headcanon that Toffee's bisexual. Because you can't look that fly without getting without getting both women and men attracted to you. You can't look that fly on a daily basis for a lizard man and not get some calls from both from both men and women. I'm just saying, I am pretty, and also he's immortal, and most immortals do kind of fool around if you live that long. So I'm 90% sure that Toffee is bi. Anyway. At least I had canon it. Anyway. So, yeah. I know this was kind of a little bit of a stretch of a video that I was just kind of rambling on. But really, look at, the more I thought about it after talking about the news about Owl House, I was like, yeah. This was a missed opportunity. And again, it kind of shows that Star Versus, after Toffee left, was kind of a detriment to the show in the long run, because God forbid we not focus on anything else other than the relationship drama between Star and Marco. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this? Do you think Moon and Toffee should have been a relationship, or at the very least, at least friends? Like they were close friends before all this shit happened? And were you kind of hoping that maybe there could have been some interesting dialogue between, or parallels between how Marco could have seen the world as a Hispanic American and, looking at things through the monster stuff? Because again, we did Jack All with a Dark Marco storyline that we hinted at all the way up to the very end, and did Jack All with it also with how Marco used the wand. Whatever. That's a whole other video. Anyway, so once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.